Hello guys, and welcome to my first tutorial for Agile testing. My name is Nimesh, and this is about actually to cover what is Agile testing, how it is different than traditional testing. Let me define the scope of this tutorial. Now, mainly this tutorial is for those people who wants to, let's say, apply for the training and certifications for the international software testing qualifications, and for the foundation level of agile testing, for those professionals who wants to practice agile way in their respective organizations, for those actually who are practicing, let's say, traditional testing way, and wants to experience and, let's say, enhance their expertise, and wants to go forward to the path for the agile way. So this tutorial is mainly for those audience. I have prepared a few slides which can give a bit of hint about the whole tutorial. Now, as you can see, mainly there are three big parts of agile testing. One which is agile software development, then fundamentals of agile testing principles, practice and processes, and third one which is agile testing methods, techniques and tools. We will obviously go deep inside each of them to understand what does that means, how it is related, what areas they are covering, and so on. So let's start with number one, which is let's say agile software development. Now in agile software development, we can split that in two parts. One which is a fundamental of agile software development, and second which is the aspects of agile approaches. Now let me go step by step, and meanwhile if anyone has any questions, please send me as a text, because I think in this tutorial you can't join this conversation. So please team, if anyone have a questions, please send me straight away as text. I will read it, I will repeat the question, and then I will try to answer it. So let's begin. So number one, what is the fundamental of agile software development? So to answer this, I would like to say a tester on an agile project will work differently than one working on a traditional project. Now, what is the difference between traditional and agile project is the whole area of the discussion. Now, to cover that, let me start with let's say agile software development and agile manifesto. Now the agile manifesto contains 4 statement of values. Number one, which is individuals and interactions over processes and tools. I will obviously discuss more if you guys wanted to know a bit more. I can give a dummy example. For example, let's say iPhone and the applications of iPhone. For example, it's a phone application, messaging feature, different features we can focus, email feature, app feature, those sort of area. So I'll try to cover those with examples I can make up, which is obviously important for the generic purpose, so everyone can understand actually what I'm talking about. So if you guys want to focus any particular area, for example, let's say if you have anything, let's say Yahoo website or Google website or any other example, let me know, and I can enhance those examples to explain what each and every statement makes sense in it. So as I said, the Agile Manifesto contains 4 statements. One which is a responding to changes over following a plan, then a customer collaborations over contract negotiation, third one which is a working software over comprehensive documentation, and fourth one which is an individuals and interactions over processes and tools. So let's start with, first of all, what is individuals and interaction. Now, agile development is a very people-centered. So teams of people build software, and it is through continuous communications and interactions, rather than they are relying on a tool or the processes. So that team can work most effectively, which is called an individual interaction. So everything's way equally. Now, second, I would like to say extend it with working software. Now, what is working software? So, working software actually gives us an opportunity to give the development team rapid feedback. So, from customers' perspectives, working software is much more useful and valuable than overly detailed documentation. So this is the main area. So agile development is therefore, especially I would like to say, is useful in rapidly changing business environments where the problems and solutions are unclear or where the business wishes to innovate in a new problem domain. Next, which is a customer collaboration. Now what is customer collaboration? So customer often actually find great difficulties in specifying the system that they require. So collaborating directly with the customer improves the likelihood of understanding exactly what the customer requires. That is all about. The next one, which is a responding to change. Now what is responding to change? So change is an inevitable in software product. So the environment in which the business operates, legislations, let's say competitor activities, technology advances and other factors can have major influence on project and its objective. So having flexibility in work practices to embrace change is more important than simply adhering rigidly to a plan. The next comes as which is a principle. Now what is principle? So the core Agile manifesto values are captured in 12 different principles. I'm not going too deep inside of them, but I can briefly explain few of them. For example, let's say deliver working software frequently at intervals of between a few weeks to a few months, which is preferable to the shorter time scales. Business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project. That keeps our requirement clear. Building projects around motivated individuals, give them an environment and support they need and trust them to get the job done. So these are actually a few of them, but overall there are 12 different principles. So if you want to understand them in thoroughly, then there are a few books available. As I can't cover all of them into this quick tutorial, this is about like an introduction of agile testing. But you can go and you can, if you want, can try and explore in detail. Now, what is team approach? So I would like to say the use of a team approach to product development is one of the main benefits of agile development. Now what kind of benefits are there? There are three main benefits. One, which is enhancing communications and collaboration within the team. So that is called a team approach. Enabling the various skill sets within the team to be leveraged to the benefit of the project. Then making a quality everyone's responsibility. So instead of let's say only QAs or developers are responsible for the qualities, but you can say is the responsibility of everyone. So you can cover developers, testers, stakeholders, scrum masters, you name it, and everyone who is involved in the product. The quality is everyone's responsibility. Now how come? So they'll be covered in the next few topics. So working together in every step of the development process is a concept of team approach. Now, what it includes? So it includes supporting and collaborating with business representatives to help them create suitable acceptance tests, working with developers to agree on testing strategies, and deciding on test automation approaches. Now these all comes as a part of the package which is called a team approach, which is an agile way of progressing with application. Now let's say next one, which is a early and frequent feedback. So agile project have sought iterations enabling the project team to receive early and continuous feedback on product quality throughout the development life cycle. One way to provide rapid feedback is by continuous integration. Now, continuous integration is a whole different area of topic where obviously we are going to cover it, but let's also talk about a few other things which comes in early and frequent feedback, and what it can include, what are the benefits of early feedback. So there are few of them, which is let's say number one, which is avoiding requirements misunderstanding. So if we give early and frequent feedback, then we can get rid of it, which may not have been detected until later in development life cycle, where they are most expensive to fix. So if you want to fail faster. Second, clarifying customer feature requests. So making them available for customer use early, or this is the product better reflects what the customer wants. Discovering via continuous integrations, isolating and resolving quality problems early. That is key and vital part. Providing information to the Agile team regarding its productivity and ability to deliver, promoting consistent project momentum. So these all are, let's say, key benefit of early and frequent feedback. Next, which is I would like to say aspects of Agile approaches. Now, what could be the aspects of Agile approaches? So let me start with Agile software development approaches. There are three different approaches, as you can see in the slides: extreme programming, scrums, and Kanban. Now, these are the manifestos in three different manifestos, we can say. Now let me talk about first extreme programming. So it is extreme programming actually is an agile approach to software development described by certain values, principles, and development practices. So it embraces basically 5 values and guide for um, um, that is a key area of XP, which are, let's say, 5: communication, simplicity, feedback, courage, and respect. There is a whole different, again, an area where you can talk more about the XP. What is XP? There are 13 primary practices you will find in XP: Agile Manifesto, sit together, whole team, informative workspace, pair programming, stories, weekly cycles, and so on. You can obviously go and explore more if you want to. Google it, but this is a short introduction of XP programming. Second, which is a Scrum. Now, I think what Scrum actually covers, and what are the instruments of Scrums. I would like to say Scrum means sprint. It covers is a product incremental, product backlog, sprint backlog, definition of done, time boxing, transparency. These all are the instrument of a Scrum. There are three main roles in Scrum involved. One which is a Scrum Master, then Product Owner, and development team who would actually develop the user stories or the product or the feature, would say. Then there is a third one, Agile Manifesto, which is a Kanban. Now Kanban actually is a management approach. So I would like to say the general objective is to visualize and optimize the flow of work within a value added chain. So Kanban utilize 3 instruments: one which is a Kanban board, second which is a work in progress limit, and third which is a lead time. So again, if you want to go deeper, you can obviously always feel free to go, but this is a brief introduction, so I would like to say. The next one, which is a collaborative user story creation. Now what is that? So I'd like to say the user stories must address both functional and non-functional characteristics, and each story include acceptance criteria for these characteristics. So these criteria should be defined in collaborative collaboration actually between business representatives, developers, and testers. Now, what you can achieve by collaborations, they said there is a technique to address this. The tester may use the technique which is called invest technique, INVEST, where I stands for independent, N stands for negotiation, V for valuable, E for estimable, S for small, and T for testable. So this is a collaborative user story creation way. There is a whole Scrum Mastering program and the course available if you want to explore it a bit more in detail. What it covers, actually it's a three elements it covers. One which is a card, is a physical media describing a user story, and second which is a conversation. The conversation explains how the software will be used. Then third which is a confirmation. Confirmation is the acceptance criteria discussed in the conversation, etc. and so on. Now the next one, which is a retrospective. Now what is retrospective? So in agile development, a retrospective is a meeting held at the end of each iterations to discuss what was successful, what could be improved, and how to incorporate the improvements and retain the successful in future iteration. So this is all about the retrospectives. There are a few things in retrospectives we can get, but this will be covered maybe next in the next tutorial. The one after that, which I would like to say, is a continuous integration. Now what is continuous integration? Now delivery of a product increment requires reliable working integrated software at the end of every sprint. Now continuous integration addresses these challenges by merging all changes made to the software and integrating all changed components regularly at the end, at least once a day, which is called continuous integration. Now continuous configuration management, compilation, software build, deployment, these all I would like to say is that testings are wrapped into a single automated repeatable process. Following the developer's coding, debugging, and checking in of code into the shared source code repository, a continuous integration process consists of few automated activities. What are the activities? For example, like static code analysis, compile, unit test, deploy, integration test, and report. So these are the few of the activities involved in continuous integration. Yes, I have here a question. What are the benefits? So, okay, the question is, what are the benefits of continuous integrations? Okay, cool. So the benefit of continuous integrations could be it allows earlier detections and easier root cause analysis of integration problem and conflicting any change like a merge effect, any merge issues, gives the development team regular feedbacks on whether the code is working or not. It keeps the version of the software being tested within a day of the version being developed. One of the benefit could be provide confidence that each day's development work is based on a solid foundation. It eliminates the schedule or risk associated with big bang interactions. So instead of, let's say, merging everything at once, we can merge in an iterative way with the small changes. One of the benefits could be a reduced repetitive manual testing activity because we can run automation build. Then it could be a provide quick feedback on decision made to improve quality and test. So these are a few of the benefits. Actually, there are a few of the drawback as well. Let me talk about drawback 2. So the continuous integration is not without its risk and challenges. Now what could be the risk and challenges? So it could be, let's say, continuous integration tools have to be introduced and maintained all the time. The continuous integration process must be defined and established to get the maximum benefit of it. Test automation require additional resources and can be complex to establish. And thorough test coverage is essential to achieve automated testing advantages. So these are the few of the drawback and challenges of continuous integrations. Teams sometimes over rely on unit testing and perform too little system and acceptance testing. So these are the few of them. Let's say last bit, which is a release and iteration planning. Now testers are involved in release planning and especially added values in following activities, I can say. which could be definition, testable user stories including acceptance criteria. So this is a part of the release planning. The other, which could be a participating in project and quality risk analysis. Then it could be estimating testing efforts associated with the user story, defining the necessary test levels, and planning the testing for the release. So these are the few of the activities involved. Oh, what question again? Okay, so what could be the tester involved in iteration planning and especially add values? Okay, so testers are involved in iteration planning and added value in many activities like participating in the detailed risk analysis of user story. Tester can be involved in that. They can be involved in determining the testability of the user stories. They can involved in creating acceptance test for the user story, breaking down user stories into the task, estimating testing efforts for all the testing tasks, identifying functional and non-functional aspects of the system to be tested, supporting and participating in test automations and multiple levels of testing. Could be mobile testing, could be browser testing, there could be different testing tools involved, and so on. So these are added iteration testers can be involved in planning in the release plan. Now, okay, question again. Hello. Yes. Okay, I can read the question. Yeah. Yes. So the question is test-related issues to address. Okay, in the release and iteration planning. Okay, I understand. So the issues, test-related issues, can be the scope of the testing, the extent of testing for areas in scope, the test goals, reasons for the decision, the test team members who will carry out the test activities, the project and quality risk. So these are the test related issues we need to address in release and iteration planning. So that's all about that. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial.